Perfect. Okay, welcome, my friends. I hope you've had a great day so far. I'm so excited you all joined me today. I think the reason you're here is because you either work from home or you're trying to learn more about working from home effectively. So you might ask first why I chose this topic. So I will let you know why. Um, the the reason I chose this topic is because I left my job about 5 years ago and in Canada, and I moved to US, and I've worked actually for public and private sectors for over 18 years. But when I moved actually from this office structure to the comfort of my home 5 years ago, at first I loved it, of course. It was amazing, but then I started having some issues. And what were those issues? I'm going to talk about it. So also the other reason I chose this topic is because many people right now, especially after COVID, need to hear what I'm going to share, since now work at home jobs are becoming more and more common. So let me first start with a couple of benefits of working from home. It's not all bad. If you've ever worked in an office environment, you know, you have to commute to work every day, you have to pay for gas, you have to pay for clothing, you have to pay for lunch and coffee, and the noise in the office, sometimes tolerating those people that are not very friendly, right? Um, could be a lot. So there are other things that add to the stress of working from home. So definitely working from in the office. So definitely working from home is less stressful and is less costly. Another great thing about working from home is the freedom to create our own working environment the way we like it, right? I can work in the backyard, in my office, by the beach, or I can be as creative as I can, right? So that's something completely up to me, and I can. But let me tell you about some of the challenges you might have experienced if you're working from home. So let me start with my challenges. I was getting distracted and I was tempted to do many other things when I was supposed to work. That's a confession. I wanted to cook, clean, answer phone calls, maybe watch my favorite shows in between, which sometimes, to be honest, it took more than an hour, maybe. So it was much more than a short break. And I wasn't able to get as much as I was able to do from the office. So as an entrepreneur, there is no one to keep me accountable. I'm the only one managing my work and my work hours. So I wasn't able to finish my to-do lists, and other days I was trying to catch up, and I was working so many long hours and sleeping late. And I was feeling guilty for not finishing my work as planned, and that was very, very stressful. I remember going to bed without, being really worried about the next day and waking up late the next day and then working nonstop and still staying behind. Also, I was feeling guilty for being at home and not spending enough time with my family members. So, yes, there are many challenges working from home. Family members or roommates, pets can take our time and distract us, right? When you have your loved ones around you and they need your attention or want to spend time with you, even if you have a pile of work in front of you, still want to stop and help them. And when you resist, you might feel guilty, you might feel bad. It's hard to say no, and it's hard to stay focused on the job when you're at home, and you know that this pile of laundry is waiting for you to be washed, and if you don't make lunch or dinner right now, you're going to be late. The family won't have anything to eat. Or if your cute puppy is looking at you and bringing his ball, showing it to you, telling you it's time to go for a walk, it's hard to say no. So some people can't stay focused when they're not supervised, and they need someone or something to remind them to focus and get back to work. And one of the biggest problems of working from home, as I said, is the always on mindset, meaning you're going to work long hours without rest. This happens all the time because there is no 9 to 5 specific schedule to give us a hint that we need to stop. Sole entrepreneurs especially experience this issue more than others because they need to work hard and long hours, and then they don't have an on and off switch to tell them when to stop. Do any of these issues ring a bell to you or true to you? Have you experienced any of these issues? I believe your answer is yes. At home, there are many distractions, less accountability, less communication with the team. If you're working from home, it's easy to communicate with the team, but when you're from home, obviously you have to intentionally send an email or go on a call and talk to them. But that doesn't mean you cannot be productive. There are lots of ways to keep working productively from any location. So whether you work from home every day, a couple of times a week, or even if you're just working from home while you recover from an illness, there are tips that can help you to get most of your remote work hours. And you won't believe how much you can get done in a day. So if you're here to know how to make the best out of your traditional job situation, you are in a right place. So we're going to share some of the strategies that we are going to use to minimize distraction and lack of focus, and also this always on the go mindset to become more productive and successful. Okay. The first thing is the environment. Environment is, as you know, is very important. We will need to create an environment where we can be successful, where it reminds us of work and helps us to stay focused. If you have a spare room to use as an office, that's wonderful. But if you don't, you need to designate an area of your home to get your work done. Try to find an area where you can set up all your work supplies and keep them there. You know, working from the kitchen table may seem like a good idea, but since you use your table for other activities, you will continuously have to pack up and go from this place to other places, you know, when you're eating in the kitchen. So it's distracting, I think. So try to choose a space that is quiet and you can focus on this task at hand. So if you're normally spending long hours at a desk, invest in an adjustable standing desk, because this will really help you alleviate lower back or hip pain and promote better health, because some studies say sitting for long hours is very harmful, and even some compare it to smoking. So if your space is too small, you can structure your home small space in a way to utilize to the maximum that space. And you can find ideas, as you know, on Pinterest, or you can go to IKEA and get some containers, good organizational tools. It might be tempting for us to work from our comfortable couch or easy chair or even from the bed, but that has a huge toll on our activity. Because one of the best working advices I can give you is to try to always work from a consistent room, from a desk that is designated, a chair that is designated for work, because that's going to tell your brain that it's time for work, not relaxation. So when you do this, your brain will associate your bed with sleep, your couch with relaxation, and your desk with work, and helps your energy level accordingly. So, and you will be more likely to stay alert and more confident and more organized if you work from a home office. So the next thing that is really important is to keep regular work hours. And I wasn't doing that. And that was very, very difficult. Because one of the most important basic things you can do is to create a regular schedule. Like you're going to the office and you have a regular schedule 9 to 5. So you have to have a regular work hours. When you're at home, it's tempting really to give yourself total flexibility, when you want to get started, when to take breaks, and when you say, okay, it's done, I'm done for the day. However, setting yourself regular hours keeps you accountable to yourself. And if you have a boss, to your boss. It makes you more likely to get all your work done, and it makes it easier for people to get in touch with you. So there are 3 things that you have to consider when you're setting up your home work schedule, and you need to communicate it to others. So organize your schedule based on, if you have a boss, when your boss needs you to be available. Second, when your coworkers and customers need you, and also the time of the day when you're most productive. This doesn't mean that you need to work 9 to 5 every day. That's totally up to you. But you should work, though, when you're most productive. That's very important. So it's a very good idea then to find out when your boss and other people you work with really need you, and work around that schedule. Like, for example, many employees work on checking emails each morning, or need to be available by phone in the afternoon. So communicate those hours of availability to anyone that might need to get in touch with you, or you be on, and then you can actually have a consistent and productive day. Make sure to separate your work time and personal time, because just as it's important to work when you say you will, it's also important to give yourself time for home life when you need it. So do not extend the workday too far beyond what you planned, because you will be burning yourself out. So keep your work life and personal life separated, as it helps you stay productive while you're at work, and less stressed when you aren't in the working hours. Meaning, in the same way that you set your work hours, you need to schedule, communicate, and plan when you're not available. For example, if you like to take evenings off to spend time with your family, make sure you communicate that you're not available for work during that time, and then hold yourself accountable to that commitment. That's important. Plan your workflow. One of the other best tips that I can give you for working from home productively is to dive in as soon as you wake up. If you already know what needs to be done for the day, get it started, right? You can take a break for breakfast shortly after, but the key is to set the tone for the day so you can progress gradually, rather than starting late and losing motivation. This is one of the things that get me started with more energy and motivation. After my morning ritual of getting ready for the day, I look at my list and then I start. Okay, I plan my day out, start on one task, and then I work for a few minutes and then prepare breakfast. Also, to work efficiently, the best way to keep productivity up is to get smart about planning your day. Before you even start working, make sure you know what your priorities are for the day. How long you will take it, you think it will take you to get each task of those tasks on the list done, and what you will work on if you have extra time. That's also important. You might find it helpful to take a few minutes before you go to bed to plan for the next day. That's what I do. So you even sleep better without stress of planning in the back of your mind. So you have your list ready. It's just ready for you for next day. So when you're planning your day, consider some of these things that we have listed. Do the highest priority tasks first. We know that, right? Highest priority first. Why? Because that's going to reduce the stress that and then you will feel accomplished because you have completed some task that needed your urgent attention. Also, plan your day around your natural cycles. What does that mean? That means do the hardest work when you have the most energy throughout the day. You know, some people are more energetic in the morning, some people in the afternoon. So make sure you know what your natural cycles are, and then do most of your work throughout the day in those peak hours. And make sure to plan rewards and breaks throughout the day. Pay attention to your peak times, and because again, when you are working an hour around your peak time, you'll be more productive. So if you know you are most alert and energetic like me in the morning, make sure to take advantage of that time to knock out more challenging work tasks, not only the priority task, but also the most challenging. If the afternoon, early evening is better for you, concentrate and try to schedule your work time and meetings or things that are harder and more difficult when is your peak time. And remember that your productivity and your motivation will lessen, as the day passes by and throughout the day. So don't beat yourself up too much that, you don't have enough, as much energy, maybe as the time passes. So that's very, very natural. Sometimes we can get too focused and wrapped up in what we do that we completely forget to take a break. So breaks are very important. Take a moment away from the work at hand, help yourself to re-energize and refocus, and then return to the task. If you need a quick break, try, for example, some stretches, jumping jacks, make a cup of coffee, cup of tea, go for a short walk, or check in with other people in the house. Make sure that you get up from your desk from time to time, get some fresh air, get a healthy snack, talk with someone else. All of these activities will help you reset and get your blood flowing. It's very, very important, and help you to get ready to tackle the next chunk of tasks. This is very interesting because in 2011, there was a study that they did with a lot of workers who took 2 short breaks during the day, and they stayed consistently productive when they were given a particular task to complete. But the other group who took no breaks, their performance declined significantly over the course of that task. So this has everything to do, in fact, with the way our brain registers what we should pay attention to, right? So this is very, very important. If you have trouble sticking to a time limit for your breaks, set an alarm. Set an alarm to remind you to get back to work. There is a method called the Pomodoro method. I don't know if you know about that, but it's a great way for us to set scheduled work hours and breaks. Here's how it works, and I put a link for you to actually check it for yourself. So you get a to-do list, you have your to-do list, and you have a timer. And then you set a 25 minutes for the work that you're working on. You focus on one single task until the timer after 25 minutes rings. When that session ends, then you're going to mark up 1 Pomodoro, which means 20 minutes, and record exactly what you completed. So you say 25 minutes, I finished this much of my task. Then you take 5 minutes break, and after you do the same thing again, another 3 times. So after 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer, about 15 to 30 minutes break. Yeah. So the 25-minute work sprints are the core of this method. It's based on 25 minutes. But for doing the Pomodoro practice, you also have to pay attention to 3 rules for getting the most out of each interval, out of each 25 minutes. So if your project is longer than 25 minutes, make sure that you break down those complex projects. For example, if your task requires more than 4 Pomodoros, and you have 5 minutes in between. So you have to divide that task into smaller actionable steps. Stick to this rule, and this will help you make clear progress on your project, but just divide the task in smaller portions. That's doable. Do the smaller tasks together. Let's say you're going to write an email, you do some other things, write checks, I don't know, you do some tasks that take less than one Pomodoro or 125 minutes. Combine these tasks together and then take your 5 minutes break, right? So that's going to help you. Also, once a Pomodoro is set, it must ring. So the Pomodoro is an indivisible unit of time and cannot be broken. So you cannot actually stop before 25 minutes. So that's the intention. You have to work until that alarm goes off, and that tells you now you can take 5 minutes of break. Okay, so any ideas, tasks, or requests that come should be taken note of, and then you're going to take care of it after. I also put the link for a digital task manager, which is called Todoist. It's very, very important. It's a very great place for you to do that. But you can also write it with a pen and paper and do it. So that's not a problem. But Todoist is also good. It can help you. Okay, so we actually have to act as if we are in the office. That's helping. What do I mean by that? Wearing a pajamas at home and working from home, of course, everybody says it's a perk. It's true, but when you work to designated work clothes, that's going to help you. Again, your brain is going to tell you it's time to work, and it's going to get you ready for work. You go into a more work mode. Of course, you don't have to put your suit and tie, but we need to at least change out of what we were sleeping in. Even if you're not interacting with anyone else during the day, it's important to dress for success. And that, of course, includes showering and brushing. Again, this will tell our brain that it's work time, not relaxation time, and that will give us a lot of more energy. Sweatpants and t-shirts are more comfortable, but you might feel sluggish, sleepy, and unmotivated. So if you have a hard time motivating yourself to get ready in the morning, try to get your outfit ready the night before, or plan an outing during the day in your lunch break time. So you have to get dressed. So that becomes something that you need to do. So creating a ritual for getting your day started is really a great way to spark motivation. This is because it will train your mind, your brain to associate your routine with work and prepare you accordingly for the day. So just like you would do if you were traveling to an office, set your alarm, make coffee, and put yourself together. And it can be difficult sometimes to turn off work mode when you are working from home. So make sure to set a clear shut off log out time so you can establish a healthy work-life balance. Again, to prevent that always on mindset, try setting an alarm to go off at the end of the day to indicate your normal workday is coming to an end, and finish up important tasks and tie up loose ends for the day, and then commit to putting back your hands up and end the work day. Okay. Okay. Working from home, when you're working from home, you need to set boundaries. Being efficient when working from home is setting boundaries for whatever that can be a distraction to us, like kids, pets, family, roommates. We have to encourage them to leave us alone when we're working so we can stay focused. Friends and family who are not working on our schedule, for example, may think that they can drop by or call or visit anytime when we're home. So we have to set boundaries for visitors and encourage them to call first and we let them know that, when, for example, we're going to take a break. And try to keep the boundaries friendly and playful, but make sure you stick to them. That's very important. So one of the things that we can do is to create, if you have an office, create a sign for the door of our office and indicate when we're working and when we're not working. If you have young children, you can have your children help you to make that sign so they don't feel being left out, because it's especially difficult for young children to understand that just because you're home doesn't mean you can give them your full attention. They call it the spotlight method, which is a great way because no matter what age your children are, they understand colors. So designate different colors for different parts of your workday, then discuss the meaning with them, with your family. For example, hang a red circle on your door when you absolutely can't be disturbed, or green when it's okay for them to come in. Okay, the other thing that's important when you're working from home, especially if you're working with a team, is to stay in the loop. Because you need to collaborate and socialize. You don't have to lose this because you're working from home. So you try to check in with your coworkers, with your team, at least a couple of times per week, by email, phone, Skype, or if it wasn't COVID, I would tell you in person. Make sure you keep up on a personal level as well as professional level. That's very important. You can do this without taking a lot of time. Just share the things that are most important for you. Encourage your coworkers to do the same. So when you email or chat with your coworkers throughout the day, let them know you're focused on work and available if they need you. Talk with your team about starting a virtual morning or afternoon huddle, just to share what everyone else is working on for the day. That's a great way to catch up. And if you have time once a week or maybe a few times a week, if time permits, meet after hours for a virtual happy hour to chat about non-work related things. That's a great way to stay in touch. Okay, so how to remove distractions? Well, social media is one of the things that distracts me a lot. It can be tempting really to browse our social media accounts when, we wake up first thing in the morning or when we need a break. But if you're the type of person who gets sucked into scrolling and lose all sense of time, just don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. Wait until after work hours to catch up. And that's something to look forward to. So to make it easier, we can actually turn off our notification or even log out of our accounts. So access is not just a matter of a click, simple click. And instead, invest that time in the morning into a ritual that creates calm and clear state of mind. Some stuff that you can do would be like meditation, or maybe get some more sleep, practice some movement activity such as yoga, go for a walk, or just focus on your breathing, which is very, very important. Whatever feels good to you and help you to set your day. That is a good time spent instead of spending time on social media. Okay, so you want to anticipate some distractions beforehand when you're working from home. Like if you have a meeting and your kids will be arriving anytime and they be noisy and they come to you, be prepared. If other family members are home, speak with them about your schedule and why you need them to be quiet during some parts of the day. There are some noise canceling headphones for sounds that you can use to control. For example, if your neighbor is mowing or your dog is barking. So try to identify these disturbances ahead of time, early, so that you can be prepared for them. Also, if you need to, for example, make dentist appointment, doctor appointments, try to schedule them for early or late in the day when you have to leave. For example, if you have to leave in the middle of the day, that's going to be difficult to find our motivation back again and switch back to the work mode again. Also, you can schedule in the middle of the day and treat it as a lunch hour when you complete your, you go to your appointments during your lunch hours. So keeping your home office clean is another thing that I would highly recommend, because that keeps your brain in a focus, actually helps you to become more say focused and get organized and be productive. I'm like that. If I'm not organized, my desk is not organized, my home is not organized, I cannot work, I cannot be productive. Even if you're someone who isn't bothered by a messy desk, keeping some order helps you to ensure that nothing really falls through the cracks or get lost in the stack of paper. And that's going to help you to work more efficiently. And it's not just about the office, your office to be clean. Having a messy home could also make you procrastinate on some work because you want to put it aside and do the cleaning for the day, and that's really bad for your productivity and mess up with your schedule. So set yourself a weekly cleaning schedule that can keep you on top of your cleaning, and you won't be tempted to clean during your work hours during the week. Okay, that's the favorite part. So pay attention to your diet. One of the best great things about working from home is having access to the kitchen, isn't it? This means you can actually prepare healthy snacks and meals for yourself and for the family. At the office, probably you have to be at the mercy of whatever is available in the cafeteria. You go buy something from the restaurant or fast food, or go nearby some sandwich, or maybe make a quick sandwich in the morning. But when you're at home, you have the opportunity to choose healthy meals and snacks that will help you to keep your energy up and allow you to remain focused throughout the day. So don't ignore the importance of a healthy meal. So there are some quick advice that I'm going to give you. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Bake your food and roast it instead of grilling or frying. Make sure that you always eat half of your plate is fruits and vegetables. Eat whole grains more often, and stock your pantry wisely, because you don't want to go shopping every day and you don't want to eat junk. So make sure your pantry is stocked with good stuff. Shop fresh and shop frozen, because frozen vegetables is not bad, and sometimes you don't really have time to prepare. So stock up on some frozen vegetables. And prep, I'm not saying frozen food, prepare, I completely disagree with that, but frozen vegetables. And make sure to prep foods on your weekends, because that's a huge help when you do that. You have some stuff that you already prepared for the week. You can do that. And there is a link I posted is to the My Plate, which is can help you to plan your food groups target. If you like, you can just jot down the address, or just get a screenshot from this page, so you can go and plan your meal day. And it tells you how much you can eat within your calorie allowance. It's really good, because it helps you to plan your diet. It's a personalized plan for you. And what is it based on your age and your sex, your height, weight, and physical activity level. There's also another link I put in for some ideas on quick and nutritious food. So please use that. So I go back if you wanted to take a quick shot of this page. Okay. Well, time management is really important. It saves you hours and hours. If you struggle with staying on time and on task while working from home, you need some management tools, management apps, for example. There are some productivity apps that will help you track your time and spend time on each task efficiently, and also help you to minimize distractions. Some of the examples are here. You can use one of these apps to keep you on time and on task. So there's Evernote, Grammarly, Rescue Time, Wunderlist, Pocket, Tomato Timer, Push Bullet, and Tick Tick, not Tick Tack Talk, Tick Tick. Okay, so again, if you want to take note, go ahead, by all means, do that. Great. Well, working from home can be sometimes lonely, can be not really motivating. So listen to some background music for one, for focus, really, and jazz it up, really. Sometimes, also it depends on the nature of your work. It might not be, very such a good idea, but if you can, you may benefit turning on some background music, because most of us learned how to work in a noisy office environment, and these background sounds are not distracting. So we can actually use sounds to tap into different moods. For example, when the afternoon crash, for example, hits and we are not as motivated, don't have as much energy, we can play some songs that get us energized. We can look for some lyric-free soundscapes or classical music to help us maintain focus. I love classical music. So there are some music streaming services such as Spotify that allow you to pick a playlist specifically to fit moods, for example, focus, productivity, relaxation. So you can use those background music. Very, very helpful. Great. Next is technology, very important. If you want to set up your technology, you have to do it strategically, right? It is better to have multiple devices enabled with all of your work apps. For example, make sure that your phone is equipped with everything you use on your computer. This way, you can have, for example, your Zoom meetings, your files, everything you need on your desktop, on your laptop, and on your phone. Apps like Zoom, your Google Drive, Dropbox, other meeting apps, having access to your desktop, synchronizing your desktop with your phone, and other apps help you to be always ready for work. Okay, so some of these are Scanner app, so you can scan on your phone, Square to pay or to receive money, Wunderlist, again, Zoom, PicMonkey, Shopventory, TripIt, and Gusto. These are very helpful apps that help you to manage your work, and it's like management tools. Very important. So again, if you want to take note, sorry, I go back and give you some time to do that. Awesome. Next thing is security, which is crucial. Let me tell you that working from home can make us a target for hackers because our work machine is incredibly valuable. Thieves and criminals are looking to access someone who's working from home, especially if you have access to, people are paying money, or you have access to some office, confidential information. So you have to be aware of your company's network policies, such as, for example, use of Wi-Fi, personal devices, all of that. Make sure you know that exactly what you're allowed, what you're not allowed. And also make sure to use a trust but verify mentality for documents that you receive, and make sure you send it to the right people. Always check. And use a business grade VPN or virtual private network for encryption. Larger organizations usually have their own approved VPN solution, and know really how to get IT assistance if you're working with a team, and make sure you always report threats. Very, very important. Also, if you're working on confidential and secret material, close your room's door, my friends, to avoid disclosing sensitive information, because we often forget that, really, because we are at home. You don't want to divulge this kind of information to family members or visitors. As I said, it's easy to forget, when we're working from home. So some of these tools, the security, help you for virus scan and malware scanning, and free antivirus apps are the ones that are listed here. So Bitdefender, that's the first one, Aviva, ESET, McAfee, which you probably know, and Kaspersky. These are, I've never used Kaspersky, but the other ones are more well known. So the first one is actually free of charge, and they say it's really good. It's actually for Android though. So very, very important. Security is very, very important. So for this presentation, I've used the following references. You're welcome to go and check. There are good information. I use some more, which is not listed here, but these are the majority of information was taken from these and my own experience. So you're welcome to go and check. For example, Mind Tools are really good. You can check that. So I'm very thankful for your time that you joined me today. I want you also, before we say goodbye or go for questions, here's a snapshot of what we talked about. So make sure you get a screenshot of this page. Basically everything we talked about is already here. That's is a cheat sheet and helps you to kind of remember what we talked about. I also want to talk about my next webinar, which is going to be in December 10th, exactly a month from now. That's a must for you if you are an entrepreneur, especially if you're managing your own work, you're working from home. This is going to help you to tap into your energy stores. We call this really biohacking. And biohacking means to know when you have, there are so many resources that we have and that we want to learn how to use it, okay? So if you are interested in this, make sure you get a shot of this page. I'm going to the next page. Also, you can actually see that. Maybe that's easier. So you can sign up for the next webinar to reserve your spot over here. And you can stay in touch with me here. So I send emails every week, very informative emails on leadership, personal development, and mindset, and different topics that might be of interest to you. The first link is you'll be added to my email list. The other ones, the next one is a Facebook group for leaders, for people that are working as leaders, as CEOs, and you want to stay in touch with like-minded people. So we have this Facebook group, and there are about 60, 70 people that are part of this group. So it's a private group. Also, this is my the third one is my business website, and I would recommend for you to go and have a look, because there are so many things that we cover, and you might be interested in some of them. The fourth one is my website for women. This website includes it's very fun, actually. You can find cooking recipes. I'm a vegan, so my recipes are all vegan recipes, but they're very, very good. You can find yoga exercises. You can find information on managing your finances, family finances. You can find my blogs, and so much information in there. And the last one is my LinkedIn. So you can stay in touch on LinkedIn with me. And yeah, so thank you so much. I really, really appreciated your time. And I hope that this was a well spent time. I'm just going to stop recording and now we can get back to our